Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're heading up to the barn to make some progress on the goat enclosure. We're also going to check in on the little chicks that we have. They're getting a lot bigger. One of them also got a new name. Then we'll check in on the Khaki Campbell with the injured bill. She is looking better, but we're going to get some more salve on her bill today and check her out. Hey goats. Birds. How you doing? Hey pup. Goats, how you doing, goats? You just want fed again, but I already fed you guys. Stop, puppy. Stop. How you doing, ducks? I'll try and zoom in on the Khaki with the hurt bill. So that Khaki actually looks a lot better than she did yesterday before I put the salve on. So it doesn't look as raw as it was before. So I'm going to keep putting that chickweed salve on her bill until I see that it's actually all healed up. We're going to do it every day and get it cleaned up with Epsom salts, dry it off, and then put the salve on. And she'll keep trying to wash it off in the water, but as long as I can get it on there, it'll soak in some. Let me clean them eyes. Let me clean them eyes. Yeah. So I'm trying out a new microphone, so hopefully it's working right now. There you goats. There you go. Just a little bit, goats. Just a little bit. Eat your hay. You too, Flip. Good boy. Got a lot of sticks down from the maple trees around here after that windstorm came through. Up here at the goat enclosure, I did make a little bit of progress on the fence. Since we're going to be stretching this chain link against all the posts, I needed to shore up all my corners, and I did that with these pallets. So the post is in the ground, then I attached the pallet to the post, and then I put a 45 board attached to the pallet down to the pipe, so that this pallet can't actually push. And if it pushes against the strongest point of the pipe. So when we stretch the chain link and it pulls that way, it has a lot more support going down to the ground. I used a couple of pallets over here in the back corner as well, and then the same 45 board going to the next pipe. Because the pallet doesn't actually stretch all the way to the pipe, that's why I had to do that. If I planned this ahead of time and put the pipe a little bit closer, I could just attach it right to the pipe and not have to worry about that. But I'm working with what I have, and this is going to work out just fine for my purposes. So this is a lot stronger corner now. With the two pallets in there, we'll be able to stretch the chain link and attach it nice and firm. I also got some pallets up on this corner, braced to each next post, and all the way up here on the front here where the big gate's going to be attached to. I ended up laying out these pipe, drilling the holes with the auger, and setting in these 3 posts. I need to still come in here with the digging bar and pack them in firm. And I also have some heavy duty T-posts that I'm going to pound in between the posts, or in between the wooden posts, to give a little bit more support to the fence. This is going to be a 4-foot gate, so I'm going to have another man gate here so I don't have to open a large gate every time. I still have to make the gates, but I'm going to try and get these 3 posts pounded in with the digging bar today, and then use the sledgehammer, get all the T-posts pounded in as well. So then all my posts around the enclosure are ready for fencing. Now that you're all caught up, I'm gonna get some tools out and get started. Goats, what are you guys doing? What are you doing, buddy? It's actually saying that it's 67 degrees right now, so I am in a t-shirt, but this wind's kind of picking up and making me a little chilly. So maybe once I start swinging this heavy bar here, I might warm up. And just as my wrist was starting to heal from the goat hay feeder incident, I go and hit it with a sledgehammer. I probably could have used a fence post pounder instead of a sledgehammer to put these in, but I'm kind of lazy and the sledgehammer was at the barn and the fence post pounder's way down in the shed. So I used the sledgehammer and made do with what I had. Now, Poppy, you were helping. We also got the wooden posts pounded in so they're nice and secure, and we have a pretty decent straight line going down here. I'll take that. I'm going to be using the 2x4 welded wire fencing for this front section here between the two gates. If I use the 2x4 welded wire on this front section, I don't have to worry about stretching it. I can just attach it to these front 3 posts and it will be on there, and I'll have a good visual, a nice clean look going through the front. I can see the goats. Oh, puppy buddy. Yeah, you helping, bud. I'm really trying to make this whole entire goat hut and enclosure without buying much at all. So far, I've only had to buy some hardware, some screws, and some gate hinges. Now that I have all the fence posts in place, the next step is going to be the gates and the fencing. I'm going to need help with the fencing because of stretching the fencing. I'm going to need to set an anchor point and then use a come along to stretch and then attach the fencing. I don't know if I'm going to have to bring up my Jeep, or maybe my brother's gator would work if we can get that up here to set an anchor point, because there's really nothing out here to stretch this chain link fence against. So I'm going to have to add some gates in here. I have a gate for this one. It's the same green gate that I'm going to be matching to the front of the goat hut here. We have a 4-foot gate, and then we have the 8-foot gates, and then this one's the same thing. I just added all the metal to it to give the goat sleeping quarters a lot more privacy or protection from the weather. I think I'm going to add a pallet here as a gate so I can get back to the rainwater harvest system. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on that side to get back into that storage area. I want to access as much access as I can make. Out here for the Out here for the big gate, it's going to be about 12 feet, I believe I made that gap. So I'm probably going to be using some of the metal piping that I have stored behind the goat hut to bolt together, or maybe I can get my brother to weld it, but make a 12-foot gate and then put some wire fencing across it to make it secure. So my brother did drop off some pallets. That's why I was able to do these corners and shore up all these fence posts. But now I have to get the rest of the pallets up here so I can pick through them and see which ones are going to work the best for the gates. Stop in and check on the chickies. First thing you can see is I added chicken wire all the way across the top here because we've had some escapes lately. They are getting big in here. All right, chickies, you are getting big. They are ready to be moving out of here. I did notice that we have a new chick that I named, because look at this little black chick. She is so much smaller than all the other black chicks. Yeah, look at you, how tall you are next to this little chick. Hey, yeah, you prick. Don't be stepping on Dollop. She's just a little one. She's just a little dollop. Look at that little chick. She is so tiny compared to all the rest of them. So I have to keep them all closed up, make sure they're 100% closed in there and they can't escape. So I'm working on getting the duck flock separated and getting the goat enclosure done so I can move the goats into their new enclosure, and that might open up space in the barn to bring up the baby chicks up into the barn brooder, and they'll be a lot safer up there and have more room to run around so they're not getting all squished and running over Dollop. Wow, the nectarine tree is just covered in buds right now, brimming for a bloom. Really enjoy this time of year because everything is changing every day. So as you move around the property, there's always something new to see. So what I'm thinking is I could possibly use a pallet like this to go in as a gate for this area. Just think this one's pretty decent. And what I'll do is take a 2x4 and fill in this gap to make this whole end solid. So I'll be able to put a hinge through here and then mount it like so to the post. And I should be able to, should be able to have a swinging gate right here. And then for this side, I can use another pallet. Watch out, fence. And I think I can make this pallet work on this side by just adding a 4x4 or a chunk of fence post right here to get it to latch to. So I'm happy with, ow! I'm happy with that. So when I'm doing projects like I do around the homestead and the gardens, I come to points where I actually need some help. And the chain link stretching is one of those points. So that's what I'm trying to put off and get everything else ready and in place. So whenever I do get some help, I can make a lot of progress in a short amount of time instead of getting help and then we only make a little bit of progress and then I have to get help again to finish. So I'm trying to get everything like the gates and the fence post all in order so that whenever I do get help, we can quickly get all the chain link up, the other fence up, mount the gates, and hopefully it'll all go smooth. One reason I'm held up on the gates is because my gate pin hinges don't actually fit all the way up on these holes that we have for the gate. So instead of leaving this gate with all this wobble, I'd like to get my brother to weld onto here an extension so that I can get up through both of these holes and have a lot more support on the hinge. Also, the way the gate's made, I'm gonna have to space out. I'm gonna have to put some support here because if this pin was holding the gate all the way to the outside, there'd be a lot of leverage pulling down on it. So I need to add something like a pipe like that so I can put the pin through it and add a lot more support out at the edge. So I'm really good at coming in and knocking out the initial 90% of a project. It's the last 10% that really slows me down. I'm not gonna get any more work done up here in the goat enclosure. I'm gonna go work on the gardens today since I have a nice day, and we'll do a checkup on the Khaki's bill. Well, I spent a little bit too much time working down in the garden. Hey chickens, hey goats. But all the ducks and Mumbles already went to bed. Yeah, Mumbles, you got everybody already in bed, don't you? I'm gonna get all the other animals put to bed, and then I'll pull out the few ducks that are getting beat up by Draco too much and put them in this middle stall for now. I don't want to have to try and split them and push them out there now that they're already all in the pen. So that'll just cause too much commotion and too much disruptance. So I'm just gonna pull out the couple that are getting beat up and keep them in the middle pen here like I did last night, just to ensure their safety for the night. All right, ducks. All right, ducks. You're so loud. You're all so loud. Okay, puppy, you got chickens all around you, buddy. It's time to get the goats out. Come on, goat. Come on, goat. Come on, goat. Come on, goats. Time for bed. Time for bed, Gina. You're stuck. Time for bed, goats. There you go, boys. Out. All right, everybody's taken care of. Now I'm going to pull Blue out of the duck pen so she can recover and not get attacked by Draco all night. And I'm also going to pull the one Khaki Campbell with the injured bill so I can clean her bill up and put some salve on it for the night. All right, Blue. Good for you. is doing so much better already. Her beak is almost calloused over. Look at her. She is doing so much better already. It doesn't even look raw. It definitely looks all beat up, but it doesn't look raw. So the chickweed salve is helping. Okay, Doc. Buddy. I'm gonna let her get it all cleaned up. I'll dry it off and then get the salve on. Okay, it's okay, girl. It's okay. What's nice about this salve is it is oily, so it doesn't come off real quickly in the water, so it does have time to soak in and have an effect before she washes it off. Yeah. Let me just take a look at you. Make sure I got it all. You are looking good, Khaki. Okay. Buddy. Alright, chickens, bedtime. Bedtime, chickens. Come on, come on. Good night, chickens. So since I'm putting ducks in 2 different stalls, I have to have a feed and water set up for both of them. So I brought them in a water bowl that they can have there, a feed bowl, and I brought the nesting box that they actually laid their egg right beside the nesting box last night. So we'll just see how they do. So this is only temporary while I heal up the Khaki Campbell. I will be splitting the flock tomorrow, hopefully getting Mumbles and the rest of them outside into the triangle house and then keeping the white flock in here. But another possibility is to send Draco off to freezer camp. So we might get rid of Draco because he's not going to be an actual breeding drake for the flock. He's just kind of a male that's bothering all the females. That's all I'm getting done right now. We'll pick this back up tomorrow. Alright, it is the next day. We're out here at the barn ready to close it up for the evening, and I'm thinking about separating the white flock of ducks from the rest of the ducks, and I don't think I'm going to do it. I have been separating the injured Bill, the Khaki Campbell duck, from the rest of the flock at night to help her recover, and Blue, the runner duck that gets picked on by Draco. So she's missing feathers around her neck, so I've been separating her to help her recover and just take some of the pressure off for the evening time. But I have decided that we will be sending Draco off to freezer camp. Out here the girls have a little bit more space and they're smaller and a little bit faster than Draco, so they're able to get away from them. But whenever they're inside the pen, they don't have that space to run, and he definitely catches them more often. But I originally got these 6 white Pekin ducks as a straight run for meat ducks, but then they got kind of cute and I had 5 females that started laying eggs, and I didn't want to send them off to freezer camp because they would be able to produce eggs for me over the winter. So Draco, being a jumbo white Pekin duck, he's not going to be fertilizing eggs for hatching eggs. So I do want to get a drake to... Good job, puppy. Way to save Blue. Good job, buddy. So I do want to get a drake that's going to be able to fertilize the duck eggs, so I'll be able to incubate some babies next year. And Draco's not going to do that job for me, so he's going to have to be sent off to freezer camp and do a different job for me by filling the freezer. I am going to be keeping the other 5 white jumbo Pekin ducks, as they are female and they're laying eggs for me right now. Until I can get a new round of ducklings to raise up to egg laying age, I am going to be keeping those jumbo white Pekins. Puppy, good boy. Yeah, you're such a good boy with my birds and goats. Yeah, good boy, pup. So I think I've decided I'm going to continue what I've been doing and pulling out the 2 ducks that are being picked on and separating them during the night, and then giving them all open space during the day out here. And then once the butcher gets an opening, we will be sending Draco out, and hopefully we won't be having any of the problems that we are right now with the ducks getting injured. That's going to be all for this one. I do appreciate you following along on my homesteading journey here. And if you love nature, make sure to subscribe down below, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Come on, goats. Come on, goats. Yeah, puppy. Come here. Goats, what are you doing? Looking for food? There's no food out right now, goats. Goats. I like to let the goats out and run around with all the other animals in the evening before I put them away for the night. Yeah, get some exercise, guys. You were such a little goat. I hear you, goat. You making friends with Puppy? For real though, if you know why this goat keeps coughing, let me know. Is it normal or do I have to do something?